Hi guys, it's Angelia. How's everybody doing? Wow, it's been a long time since I've gotten up here and chatted with you guys. It's been what, since I guess May? I think that was the last time I made one of my throwback Thursdays, I believe. I don't know, it's been a while. But anyway, I just want to get up here and let you guys know I am doing okay. It's been a while, and I apologize since I haven't been getting up here doing any videos, but I have been super extremely busy with life. I uh, I think the last time like I said, I talked to y'all, it was right around spring, and that very day or the next day after I did my video, I decided I'm going to go outside and I'm going to start messing in my flower beds, and I've been doing it ever since. I got up, went down the road, ended up making 6 flower beds going down my road, and got those done, and then ended up doing another garden, a vegetable garden, and been messing in my yard and everything. Like I said, I have been so busy, I just hadn't had time. And I've only made one thing since then, crochet wise, and I actually have it in my pocket. I didn't want to lay it on my table because it's kind of dirty. We've been getting a bunch of rain, and I'm so thankful to that. I'll tell you about that here in a minute. But I ended up making me a dishcloth, and I think I've made this pattern before. It's like a double crochet, single crochet, but I'll put a link down below if you'd like to go check it out and make you one. I cannot remember who the designer is or the name of it, but I'll put that down below if you want to go make you one. But that's the only thing that I've made since my last video. I've been tired at night. I just ain't had time, and during the day I'm constantly outside. But what have I been up to? Boy, I tell you what, I've been up to a lot. Um, like I said, I made me some new flower beds. I made a bunch of 6 of them going down the road with zinnias in them and gladolias, and they have turned out so beautiful. Oh, and the butterflies, it has attracted a bunch of butterflies and bees, and I'm so glad of that. And then I ended up putting in another garden, another vegetable garden. I don't know what it is, guys, but for some reason, every time I go to Walmart, I'm buying seeds. And I just want to keep adding and adding and adding. And so I ended up putting in another vegetable garden. And I'd like to add on to my other garden, but because of the trees that I've gotten, it's so close to it and everything, it's kind of shady, which it's good for the tomatoes to at least have some shade partly through the day, because let me tell you, we have had some very hot weather. I mean, it's been extremely hot around here. We had triple digits, and I think we went like a month and a half without rain, and finally we were blessed with some rain. Thank you, Lord. I tell you what, we got rain like 3 days ago, and it rained for 3 days, just off and on a couple of days, but one day it just seemed like it rained, a steady rain all day long, and I am so thankful to that, because I have been out here watering and watering and watering. I would get out here and do my chores early in the morning. I'd be out here for like 4 hours, and then turn around and go in and eat, and then turn around and come out and do whatever I needed to do then, and then start all over in the afternoon. But we had such hot temperatures, it was awful. Yeah, you talk about drinking a lot of water. I think I've drank more water this year than I ever have my whole life. But it's been extremely dry here, and of course, you know, we've been under a fire danger and horrible drought and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful for the rain that we have gotten. But anyhow, I've been extremely busy doing all of that, and like I said, I got my vegetable garden. I ended up planting zucchini and squash and tomatoes and cucumbers, and I've got my fall garden going now, which I've never done one before. And actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know you could do a fall garden. I've been watching some homesteaders, and they were talking about, you know, doing fall gardens, and I thought, wow, I never knew that. You think at 57 years old I would know that, especially I'm from Arkansas. I'm from the South. You think down here in the South I would have known that, raised here and everything. My mom and dad had a garden, but I don't remember if we had a fall garden or not. But anyhow, I'm doing a fall garden too, because I end up getting a bunch of cucumbers, and I end up making pickles, and and they're refrigerated pickles. I'll talk about that here in a minute. And I ended up getting a bunch of them, and then they ended up dying down. So I ended up starting me some more, so I can get me some more, because this time I'm going to I want to can them this time. And I've got a bunch of tomatoes, but I ended up having to freeze them as I'd go, because I wouldn't get a whole bunch at one time. So I got a bunch of tomatoes in my freezer that I'm wanting to can, and I've never canned before. This will be my very first time to do any kind of canning besides, I made freezer jam, which you just, do that and you put it in the freezer. But this, I want to do it like either I got the equipment to do like a water bath and canning, and so I'm anxious to do it. I've got the stuff. I've had it for like 6 years. I keep collecting everything. Every time I go to Walmart, mostly I always pick up some jars, and I really want to get into that. And so I'm going to quit being a chicken, and I'm going to do it. And so this time I'm wanting to make some pickles by canning them. I made a bunch of refrigerated pickles, and I found it on the Ball website. And they are so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, they are delicious. And I'll put a link down below if you're interested. If you got a bunch of cucumbers and you garden and you want to make some refrigerated pickles, these are really, really good. And if I remember right, I think they stay good in the refrigerator. I think it said for 6 months. I can't remember. It tells you on the website. But anyway, I'm anxious to try the water bath one. But anyway, and then my squash. I've got a few squash and a few zucchinis, but then squash bugs, man, they're the devil. I tell you what, I've never had so much trouble. I don't use chemicals on my garden. I do strictly just pulling them off and disposing of them little guys. And because I love my bees, I'm excited whenever I come out here and we've got honeybees and bumblebees and all that pollinating. So I'm super excited about that. And you see all the good bugs and stuff like that. But there's those little critters that are the bad ones that like to eat on things. And so I've been picking them off by hand, and I'm learning as I go, so. But I've enjoyed it very much. I absolutely love my vegetable gardens, and I'm out here all the time. Practically live in it. I guess I could pitch a tent in it, but it's so hot. I think I'd roast. But anyway, yeah, I actually planted me some basil too, and I used it for the first time the other day, and that's good stuff. I really like that. And the other thing that I've been learning to do, which I did some a long time ago with a machine, I've been learning to make bread with my hands. I've been wanting to do a lot of things the traditional way, I guess you could say. I've always been, I'm not always. What am I saying? I started about 6 years ago of trying to eat healthier, because back then they told me I had high cholesterol and I didn't want to take the medicine, and I was either going to have to if it was hereditary, or I wasn't going to have to if I did it on my own and lowered it. Well, it's not hereditary, and I'm so thankful to God for that, because I don't want to take any more medicine than I have to. And so anyhow, I decided that, I wanted to eat healthy, and that's what we basically do. Now, I do cheat every once in a while. When we go somewhere, I will get a hamburger, or I will pop a pizza in the oven, but it's very rare here lately. I just don't want to do it. And I've been, here lately, since this summer and everything, I've been doing a lot of cooking and stuff the traditional way, just everything from scratch. And I am having so much fun. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've never really done it before. I've always just cooked out of a box, I guess you could say. And so, like I said, I've made bread a long time ago, and it was with a bread machine. But this time I bought me some flour. I think it was a gold medal flour, and it had a recipe on the back, and it was for whole wheat, honey whole wheat bread. And I love honey, and I love wheat, and so I thought, I'm going to try that. And so I got it out, and I did some substituting in some of it. Instead of using butter, I used olive oil. Instead of using, you use the honey for the sugar. And oh my goodness, the first time I made that, I was so excited. I couldn't believe that I made it, and it turned out so good, and it made the house smell so good. And when hubby got home, he was like, man, something smells good. I said, you're not going to believe what I did. I said, with my own 2 hands, I made bread. And that was a lot of fun, guys. And, you know, getting in there and kneading it and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, that was fun. I love it. And so I have been doing it. I've been doing it a lot. I haven't bought a loaf of bread from the store in a couple of months, I guess you could say. And so I'm super excited about it. I just make my own. And I'm wanting to do that with a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of cooking from scratch. I made some banana nut bread yesterday, and it's so good. And I've been making oatmeal raisin cookies and doing substitutes from that. And I don't use butter. I use olive oil. And if it calls for sugar, I usually use honey. And so, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing that. And it's so good. But anyway, what else have I been up to? We got some new baby deer that's been hanging out in the back. We've actually got a set of twins and another one from another mama. I'm hoping, I wish they would show up. I don't think they're back there. I'm not seeing them. I don't think. No, they usually show up quite a bit during the day, and they're kind of spoiled. But I got me some new baby chicks. I broke down and ended up getting 5 more chicks. We got 1 chicken right now, and her name is Red. She's a Rhode Island Red, and I've had her for about 6 years, and she is my buddy. She thinks she's a dog. She hangs with the dogs. She sleeps with the dogs out in the yard during the day. She hangs out at the shop with hubby. It's the funniest thing. I mean, she's spoiled. And so I told my hubby, I said, I'm ready to get some new babies. I've been hesitant because I don't know how she's going to react around them. And we haven't got them together yet because they're still, you know, littler. But hubby's working on an extra, he's actually building a pen for them because she's got a tractor hutch, coop over here. And he's building something that's almost as big as that hutch, or that coop. I told him, I said, my goodness, I said, you know, that thing's as big as the one she's living in. But that's okay because I'm actually thinking about raising me some guineas because they're good for ticks. But anyway, he's got to work on that, and hopefully he'll be able to finish that up here in a couple of days because they're ready to be in there. They're when we first got them, I was raising them in a tote, and then they have graduated to a water trough, a 100-gallon water tank. And they're the cutest little things. Well, they're not so little, really. They're getting big, and they're hanging out in my bathroom right now, guys. Hubby brought that tank home, and I said, well, I guess we need to transport it. I didn't want to put it outside because it was so hot, and I didn't want a coon. You know, we could have slid it into hubby's shop, but he don't have air conditioning. Not that they need air conditioning, you know, because they need to get used to being outside. But it was when we were having triple digits and so hot and everything. And I told him, I said, I guess I spoil my animals too much. But anyhow, I didn't want any coons to get them because, you know, coons can get them, mess with them. And we got coons that hang around. And so right now they're still in that water tank, and they're ready to graduate to their pen. And like I said, they're spoiled, and they are the cutest little things. There's 5 of them. There's 3 black and white ones, and then there's one that is a tan color, or 2 that are tan colors. And whenever I went to get them, you didn't know what you were getting. There was a variety, and you didn't know if you were getting a hen or a rooster. And I was so hoping that I got me a rooster, because I don't have a rooster. I had a rooster when we were growing up. It was a mean little thing. He was a mean little devil, I'll tell you that. He never flogged me, but he flogged my brother. But I'll tell you, honestly, he probably deserved it, because he was ornery. And anyway, that rooster got him good one day. We got off the school bus, and we had to walk about half a mile, I guess, from where the school bus would drop us off. And we were the only house on the lane, and we lived right next to a lake. And he had come off that bus, and we took off down through there. And you had to go past the barn where the chickens were. and we had pigs and stuff, and to get to the house, and well, he wasn't paying attention, and I always watched, because I paid attention, and he didn't pay attention, and so when he came by, he was lollygagging, and that rooster came out of him, and with all his talons, right, he got him, and he went to squall, and he took off running, ran to the house, but yeah, them roosters, they can be ornery. So I ended up getting, I think I have 2 roosters. So, and they say I've read where you're supposed to have 20 hens to 1 rooster. So I don't know if I'll get that many, but I really do love chickens. And being that hubby's making this pen, and it's a pretty good size, because once we put them in there and we see how they react with bread, because I just don't know how they're going to react with each other. We want them to get used to each other, and then if they get along, then who knows. I'm hoping maybe we'll have some little baby chickens in the future. But during the meantime, what I'd like to do is I'd like to raise me some guineas in that extra pen once they get in the coop. And so guineas, they say, are really good with ticks, and they make a good little watch, guard, dogs. They let you know if there's a snake in the yard and stuff like that. So, and they say they're pretty well easy to take care of, and I like that. So that's something I'd like to add to our little farm here that we got. So, and the mystery animal, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what that mystery animal is. We ended up getting, well, it ended up adopting us, a potbelly pig. That potbelly pig showed up about a year ago now, and maybe a little over a year. And nobody ever claimed that pig. We looked around, asked around, it got posted. No, and we're talking miles away. Nobody ever claimed it. They always said, oh, we'd see that thing going up and down the road all the time. And I was so afraid, something was going to happen to it, dogs or something. And so it adopted us. And she will not let you touch her. I have tried. I worked a lot trying to get her to let me touch her, but she won't let me. So, but she'll eat out of my hands and stuff. So anyway, she's happy. She's got her big old mud puddle. She's actually over there in it right now. She loves her mud puddles and stuff like that. So she's spoiled. And we named her Mrs. Piggles. So anyway, like I said, she won't let me. I've actually snuck and touched her on top before, because she had her head down in her bowl, and I'd reach over and I'd touch her, and boy, you'd think somebody had shot at her. She'd take off running across that yard, and yeah, no touching her. And who knows, maybe eventually she will, because we actually have a cat that we've had around that's been hanging here for over a year, and his name is Sylvester, and he would never let us touch him until today. He finally let me pet him today, and he's been acting real friendly the last week or two, and for some reason today, whenever he was on the back of the truck, I reached down and he let me pet him on the back of the head. And so I was like, whoa, that's as far as it got, though. I didn't ever I never push myself on animals or anything like that. I let them make the decision if they want me to touch them or come around me. I learned a long time ago, you just can't do that. It has to be their idea. And so, but anyhow, I can't even remember what all I've already talked about. Like I said, I've been super busy just with life in general, been outside so much, a lot. At times, hubby would get kind of frustrated with me because I'd be out here when it was super hot, and just be sitting here at the picnic table hanging out with the birds, and just thinking I need to go check to see if this needs a drink of water or what. I just love being outside. I don't care how hot it is. I'm always outside. But I was taking care of myself, though. I had a lot of water, and I would go in and cool off for a little bit and then come back out. But yeah, I'm thankful to God for this rain, and it's actually pretty nice today. But we're supposed to get back up in the triple digits again. So it's that time of year here in Arkansas where it gets kind of hot, and then it'll start getting fall-like, which I love fall. That's my favorite time. That and spring. I love both of them. And the color, the change of the leaves and stuff like that. But Anyway, maybe I'll get to crocheting some more. Like I said, I haven't had time. I've been extremely tired. I've been crashing at night and stuff like that. I just haven't had time. I'll get maybe some more dishcloths, or I'll just get up here and maybe do some chatting about what I've been up to. If if you want to just hear me chat or talk about my garden or my flowers and stuff like that. Now, I did get me some blueberry bushes, but I ended up losing 2 of them. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if it was blight or, like I said, I don't put anything on them, you know, chemical wise. I just don't want to harm the beneficial insects and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, I haven't seen any ladybugs. I ain't seen one ladybug this year. Now I don't know if they come at a certain time, or it seems like usually I'd always see them in my garden, but I haven't seen one ladybug, and that's sad. And I seen where the monarch butterflies are. There's not very many of them, so I ended up having some um, what do you call it, caterpillars in my garden. I had a milkweed, and there was some on that, so I was excited about that. And I've been seeing a lot of different butterflies in my butterfly garden. My plants are looking kind of, it's that time of year where they start looking kind of blah because of the heat. And I tried, watering them. I watered them a lot and to keep them going and stuff like that. But the heat, I mean, you can only do so much. But my zinnias are looking really pretty. Maybe I can get some videos of some of them with some butterflies on it if you want to see that and stuff like that. And I feel raindrops. It's going to rain a little bit more. I'll take it. Come on, rain. It's the first day that it rained these last 3 days. I cried. I told God, I said, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Lord, because we absolutely need it, and everybody needs it. I've been praying for everybody to get some rain and stuff like that, and the ones that got affected by all that flooding and stuff. Lord, that is so sad. I just pray for them. But anyhow, I I guess I'll hop off of here and quit my rambling. It's been, 22 minutes? I guess I had a little bit to say since it's been a little while since I've done a video. But like I said, you know, I might get up here and do some more. It might not have any crochet in it, and I apologize for it. But, I got other things that I love to do too. So I might get up here and do some on my plants, or just show you just something just for the fun of it, just to give you something to watch. If you're like me, if I'm working on something, I like to sit there and listen to somebody ramble and keep me company while I'm working on something. I've been turning my phone on, or my videos on, watching everybody while I've been baking, making my bread and stuff like that. I really, like I said, I've been really enjoying making that bread. I need to venture and see about making some other things. And once I get on a kick of liking something, I kind of stick with it for a little while. But I like to find some other kind. I like to get me an old-fashioned ice cream machine. My grandma had one. It was wood, the old wooden ones. And you put that salt rock in there, and she had the best, oh my goodness, the best banana ice cream recipe. And it was probably popular back then. We're talking back in the 70s. And that was so, so good. I can remember sitting out at my grandmother's, and I had 2 siblings, and we would take turns. As a kid, we thought it was fun cranking that thing. I'm sure now I'd be like wore out doing it. But you'd sit there and just crank that thing, crank it. And I can remember whenever it would get done, you could see it kind of either coming up underneath the lid, or maybe we'd take the lid off a little bit and then put it on right, and you'd see it kind of seeping through. And I can remember tasting that, and oh my gosh, it was so good. But I'd love to get me one of those old machines, and I'm sure they'd probably cost a fortune if you were trying to get you one that was like back in the day. I love getting stuff from like back in the day. I don't care too much for all the new fandangle stuff, that remakes and stuff, but I guess it is what it is. It's like I would love to get my hands on a Ringer type washing machine, guys. We didn't grow up with one, but when we moved to the mountains, we had one. And when we lived in a log house, My dad built it off of the land, cut the trees off of the land, had them hauled to a sawmill with a mule. Had the guy come in with a mule and the wagon, and he would haul them. He would load them up on that wagon, and he also had a truck, flatbed, big old truck, and he would put those logs up on that, either the trailer that the mules were pulling, I'll get it right, or that other, and he would take it to his sawmill, and he would do what he had to do, and then he would bring them back. And I can remember sitting out in the yard, and Dad would take these a hoe, and you flatten that hoe where it was sharp on the end, and you would take that hoe and you would just scrape the bark off them trees. And I remember doing that many a time. And so we did that, and then built that house, and we didn't have any electricity. We didn't have any running water. And so to do our laundry, you know, we did it in a tub or something like that. And then whenever we finally got electricity, we used that ringer type washing machine, because it was electric, and we'd just plug it in and use that washer. And you talk about getting your clothes clean, because not like these washing machines you got now. You wash for just so long, but those ringer type washing machines, hey, I want to wash that load for an hour, flip that sucker on, and I go about my business and wash that whole load for an hour. And so, and they did get your clothes very clean. I remember doing that many a time, and I'd love to get my hands on one of them, and then I'd love to get my hands on a wood-burning cook stove. Yeah, I would. I'd love to have me a little building, a little house, a little shack right here, and I would have nothing but a wood-burning cook stove in there, nothing but no electrical, nothing. It would just be off the land. Oh my gosh, it brings back so many memories. Yeah, I remember doing that a bunch, hanging the laundry out in the wintertime and stuff like that. So, yeah, I love doing that. But I'd love to have me a ringer type washing machine, because actually I've been doing my laundry without my washing machine whenever it's not been too hot, because that's just, I love doing it. I love doing that. I love doing it like that. Kind of seems like it gets cleaner, I guess you could say. I'm old school, I guess you could say. But anyway, I guess I'm going to quit rambling. I've said that already, and I'm going to hop off of here. And like I said, I apologize. I haven't had a video in a while, but I'll try to get up here and do more of them. Like I said, it might not be crochet, and I apologize, but I just been too tired and just hadn't had the urge. And except for my one dishcloth, I do need to make me some more of them, because as much cooking as I've been doing, I've been wearing them out. But anyway, I'll do videos maybe on some things just around the house, just to show you what I've been up to and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you to everybody, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will be chatting at you guys real soon.